Invocation Rockseed is a sculpture workshop by the Chandigarh Lalit Kala Academy, in which as many as 7 sculptors from across the nation have got together to create their own artworks inspired by the environment around them. And as part of the workshop, today we have from Udaipur Bhupesh Kavadia, a well-known sculptor who has not received any formal training in sculpture, but has got to love the form over the 25 years that he's been working with it. And stone remains his major medium of creation. And in Chandigarh also he has created something that has been inspired by Le Corbusier's architecture. The journey has been very interesting for Bhupesh, for he did not receive any formal training in art or sculpture, but has learnt it, the techniques, the art, the form over the years with his experiences. Theatre probably being one of the major inspirations for his works. And today we will talk to Bhupesh about his journey in terms of sculpture and how he creates new forms in every phase. Welcome to the Chandigarh Lalit Kala Academy. So, कैसा रहा आपका experience in the workshop over the last few days?
Wonderful. Yes, we can say it is wonderful, and the warmth with the host there, and the scale of the stones and the availability of all the requirements related with stone sculpture particularly, it is commendable, because we can't expect this from it was in general, there is a notion that you can't expect much from government institutes now.
Yes.
But exceptionally they have
done
very good.
And how was your experience of working with so many sculptors from across the country? Because it's a platform where all of you could probably discuss sculpture as a medium and exchange ideas and inspirations. So, वो कैसा रहा आपका interaction?
In one word, we can say it is a bliss which we get. Whenever we get this opportunity, it is a beautiful thing that we come together, we live together, we work together, and in that all 15 days, 20 days, a month, you interact emotionally, you interact intellectually, you interact technically.
Right.
You enhance your techniques, you enhance your intellect, knowledge, and in a way when we work as a team or we live as a family, then it enhances your emotions also.
Okay.
It profounds, and with so many senior sculptors, it is a great thing.
But did you also have interaction with students, the audience, because it was an open camp,
yes,
which had a lot of space for all this?
Good part that many students they used to come regularly, trying to fulfill their curiosity, observing, seeing, talking. Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Yes.
Bhupesh, tell us a little about the work that you have created as part of this camp. And is it titled something, and what is the philosophy?
Yeah, here the work is titled as a Tower of Silence.
Okay.
When I got this invitation, so Zahan mein, mind mein, it was already said that I am going to Chandigarh, and if Chandigarh, the name Le Corbusier comes in your mind, that okay. I don't know, as an architect I know ki there's this, and I've seen his architecture.
You've studied his work a bit?
Not this time, but
you previously.
Previously. So that idea was well said, that I will try to work as from his own eyes, how he will think. Means just a trial. I didn't want to do what I was doing before. Achha. That would have been easy for me, but for me this experimentation and new vistas, so I did that, and in that way I am a big gainer, that I learned, okay, there are a few mistakes maybe from my vision, but there is some hint of Corbusier architecture, and the void space, linear pillars.
Okay.
And
so those are the forms that you have taken.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And what was the challenge in creating this sculpture?
First challenge was the size of the stone.
Size of the stone, okay.
And because
it was marble.
It was marble, black marble, and I was late. That was a miss. I missed
2-3 days.
5 days, and
Okay.
so it was a bit challenging.
Okay.
That this size of stone in 10 days, and because 1 or 2 days you take for just perceiving,
Okay.
having a dialogue with your stone.
Okay. It takes that.
Yes,
Okay.
that accommodates, but anyway, it was nice to have that challenge and work.
So how does work begin? You said that you have a conversation or a dialogue with the stone. So for a lay person who doesn't know how a sculpture is created, what is the process that goes on in your mind when you create a work?
Sometimes we also don't know, but
Do you have an idea before or no? Sometimes the
No.
stone gives you the new idea.
neither those. But when you first go near to the stone, you see visually what shape it is, what mass it contains, what texture are inside. These are bit physical things which you experience. Then you touch it, observe it,
Acha.
and your process starts after all these touching, seeing visually. And I usually love to play with the uncertainties, and there are no fixed notions before that
No.
I am going to work this only,
Acha.
and there are no such drawing that I will follow this drawing or a
तो नहीं
maquette
करते
or
कुछ पहले नहीं करते
No.
before you no. Okay.
So those uncertainties standing in front, they, of course, you for those moments, those days, goes with big anxiety,
हाँ जी.
big means
Thought process चलता रहता है.
हाँ एक churning of thing, and it opens many new things which you were not knowing before.
Okay. Okay.
So that is the very best part of this process. Means you go through uncertainties and anxiety happens, but it is for nicer things that you become more involved, intense involvement becomes, and then something clicks. Okay, come,
Okay.
we will do it.
Okay.
So that way, generally I used to work that way. And sometimes what you were telling, that sometimes stone, yes, very true, it itself says you. When it is more natural shaped stone, or sometimes it speaks to you that, okay, I am to be finalized like this. Then you follow your companion.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And does sometime what the form emerges is a surprise to you as well?
Yeah, many times. Many
Okay.
times it is. Many times at the end of the day, when you are finishing your whole work, means after, prior to those last moments, some eureka moments come,
Okay.
and that surprises you, and it scintillates, means it
Yes.
gives a.
But the place that you come from, Udaipur, do you think that also inspired you? Because the color, the stone there, and the tradition, do you think it played a part in you becoming a sculptor? The city or its...
Udaipur, my means city, it is a beautiful city, and not crowded. Still free from pollution. Don't know what will happen afterwards, but still it is
Ji.
having that sensitivity and that. Yes, it inspires. But yes.
So tell us a little about your journey. You did not receive any formal training in art. I mean, you did not go to any art school, and you studied commerce, you said. So
Yeah,
tell us
yeah.
how it all began for you and why.
Why? Simplest answer may be destiny. And how? Actually, from childhood, I was a avid reader. Any books,
Okay.
any magazines. Little childhood, it was all my mother too is a avid reader.
Okay.
So all those women magazines, Sarita, then means so
हाँ,
many.
हाँ, हम सब ने वही पढ़ी है.
So whether it was related with my context or not, but I used to read it
Read, okay.
because so naturally it was. Then all the things, comics. Then when growing up, gradually, the seriousness of book reading, and it was not that I am making an effort to read. It was that it was एक नशे की तरह हो जाता था कि मैं आज ये novel started, I have to finish.
Okay.
So I can't lose that moment कि I will finish it next day. And slowly, then luckily I was involved in 85 in my school days. I was in 10th or 11th standard then. We joined a summer vacation camp, a theatre workshop, which was held by B.V. Karant and many big prominent personalities of theatres.
Udaipur mein?
Udaipur mein. Then we, for 15 days, I think in summer vacations, we were, as a child, we were involved with that, and it was held by one institute, that was Triveni Kala Sansthan. And then we started going, visiting every day in the evenings. All our seniors, they were few from NSD, National School of Drama, then few were doctors, few were engineers, few were accountants, all from every field.
और आप तब college में थे?
I was in school
at
that time.
अच्छा.
So we started, and then there were some informal classes. तो senior NSDians होते थे बड़ी दाढ़ी में ऐसे उंगली करते हुए and talking about Albert Camus and many all these things, and हम लोग, it was all going, okay, what is this?
Yes.
This life is totally different. This world is totally different. And then we started trying to enter into that particular world.
So theatre was the first step.
First step. And luckily at that time, we used to help in set designing, we used to help in costume designing, lights, acting, cleaning the floor, managing all the things.
Every aspect. Okay.
And it was kind of family and that environment. And
what play was this, Bhupesh? कोई play production कौन सी थी?
काफी वो तो workshop के बाद तो then it was a continuous thing. We did many good plays.
Okay.
And suddenly television entered in that small city.
Okay. It was in that year, that 80s होंगे फिर.
Yeah,
must be
after 85, 80s.
Okay.
But television was not a so common thing. It was a very, and then audience एकदम से vanish.
That's right.
होते थे.
Right.
And we were struggling, everybody, that it was not a profit making organization trying to sell tickets, but now audience turned to television. That was a sad part. And then parents used to say that अब कुछ तो काम करोगे कुछ life के लिए. I completed BCom, and now means I was not for commerce, but it was a I have to take, either I have to so.
But you were continuing theatre alongside?
Yeah.
Okay. That never went out of your life?
Yeah. Then a very sweet opportunity came that I was seeing some sculptor working. Okay. I was that chance came.
In Udaipur itself?
In Udaipur itself. So just seeing him, observing him, I very थोड़ा सा डरते डरते I asked his permission that can I take one stone? He said yes. Then I forget that stone तो मैंने ले लिया, but what, how I will do? Then I requested him for one hammer and chisel. And at that moment, only one thing was that I will make a little showpiece. Okay. For my
house.
Book rack.
Okay.
Only that was that. Then I thought it is very small, tiny way. I will finish it very soon and it will be done. Okay. But it is not done yet.
वो अभी भी incomplete है?
No, वो तो हो गया. But the journey started from that very moment, because for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days for finishing that work, I used to go for an hour or two. वो age जिस समय जो ये होती है तो then it became a very serious affair.
Okay. You knew that this is what you want to do? I mean,
no. But in process, then I have to marry early because it was a love marriage, and there was some conflicts between both the families, maybe because of caste system. But then you, if you are getting married, you have to earn.
Earn, yes.
And you have to fulfill your parents' wish that you at least. Then I started doing some private jobs, anywhere. Okay. And meanwhile, I got an opportunity by an industrialist. He was having one sculpture department also. Other than he was a mine owner, marble mine owner, selling marbles, and he himself was very interested in these kind of activities. Okay. And there was a post of supervisor. Okay. So one known person, he was there, just supervising. Then some opportunity came that he was going abroad, and then I pleaded him that can I be there? Okay. Yes, and he said, okay, we will go to the owner, talk. And meanwhile, that 2 hours or 3 hours of carving was always going after late evenings.
Okay, every day you would do it?
Every day, without fail. Means, that working was going on, and started participating in group exhibition in Delhi.
Itna kam, you were doing so much work that it could be exhibited?
Yeah,
you were creating so much
it was
work.
a nice span of
5-7
years also.
Okay, okay.
Because now if we see, it's all compressed there.
That's right.
Era, but
That's right.
then that opportunity came, and it was a kind of 6-7 craftsmen will be there. They will be producing some pillars or for temple structures and this. And I was so we went to the owner. He said, no, you have to pass an exam. I said, okay, you come tomorrow, go there, and then he gave me 2 little pieces
of stone.
Of stone. पहले you मुझे ये करके दिखाओ. And I did it in an hour, and I went to his office back. And okay, what happened? I finished, and he was pleased. And
क्या create किया था आपने?
It was very natural form, and but then he said, okay, service पे लग जाओ. Very humble amount of salary, and that time it was more than sufficient. And then I said that there is one condition from my side.
Yes.
That after 5, I will be working my own sculptures.
Right.
Till 5, I will be doing my duty to supervise and provide all the facilities and this. I will work till whatever time. Nobody will stop, and of course those work produced there will be owned by you, not by me, but it will be my work. So I was able to do my creative work more efficiently, because now
material
was there, space tha, and tools were there. So that gave me an opportunity that I was able to work. Then we had an exhibition in Delhi. Luckily it was good. We sold few works, and so then it...
So what were the forms that you were creating at that moment when you began working in the factory?
There were innocent forms, means floral forms.
Okay.
Related with nature, mother and child, female forms, head, portrait, not actual
human figures.
Yeah, human figures. We can say, not so serious work.
Okay.
But lovely work for everybody.
And what was your stone, your main medium of work?
That was our local Udaipur pink marble.
Oh, lovely.
And that marble itself was lovely, because you get pinkish, light pinkish color, then texture, and
how is the texture of the stone, Bhupesh? It's quite like the white marble, or no? It's
no, texture, it comes different, and you can get contrast. While one surface you polish, it becomes pinkish, nice pinkish, and if you texture, it becomes more
whiter. Oh, okay. So contrast aata hai.
Yes. So it gives you an opportunity that you can play. You can create more drama when you get a color stone.
Right.
और लोगों को ज़्यादा पसंद भी आता था. धीरे-धीरे वो होता गया. And meanwhile, from early stage, I received a first State Academy Award, and at that time I was on हवा में हो गए थे. I went to home. I was so excited. Father Kashirwad, he said very coldly that in this 5,000 rupees your life will not ये नहीं चलने वाली. But slowly, धीरे-धीरे acceptance मिलती गई from institutes, Delhi,
And you kept working at the same place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same place.
Okay.
And at studio, this place also where I started. So both. So I was working my own as ownership also, and working for him, but creating my own
works. But us time, how did you enhance your technique or your study of sculpture? Did you start reading or seeing others' works, or did you take training? How did all of this? I mean, I'm sure that there came a time when you said that, okay, this is not enough. I want to learn more. I want to see more. So did that happen in your life as well?
No, I didn't had any training, but just working continuously,
Okay.
observing the carvers,
Okay.
artisans,
Okay.
over
The traditional.
traditional.
Okay, okay.
And reading was always means not particularly on art, but maybe reading Henry, any Premchand se lekar, Thomas Hardy se lekar. That was from since.
And you felt it helped your art?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Novel and literature or fiction also groomed my perceptions and many things.
But you never felt that if you had gone to an art school, it would have helped more? No, you never felt that in your life, or you did after a while?
Sometimes on technical basis, but
issues.
not for stone, but maybe I would have been able to draw,
Okay.
which I am not now.
Okay.
I could have done some bronze, which I can't do now from myself, but I have to take help. But I think it helped more that it was a blank canvas for me. No prejudices or no thumb rules were there, which happens
when you are
sometimes.
Conditioned. Yes.
It is very true that you are totally unconditioned.
Right.
Mindset, mind, thoughts. So a kind of originality or naivety, you can say naivety. So if it is naivety, then it is original. So sense of that, and yes, and then participating in many works. I was lucky enough that I got these honors, awards in a very early phase, and that regional centers started inviting West Zone Culture Center, sometimes not Central Zone Culture Center, sometimes there. I was able to meet the real professionals, which are co-artists, seniors, colleagues, and bus that is going on. Then it went on gradually, bigger scale, bigger scale, bigger scale.
So how did you said you started with a lot of inspiration from nature, and then you said that it came naturally.
It is, you are just like child and you have to do a stone. So सबसे पहला ख्याल which is in you, because at that time you are not able to make your own mindset.
Right.
So you just pick something that okay, this is looking good. So what to do? I will. So you start to. It is not inspiration. It is a kind of bit copying something that okay, it will, because it makes you. It makes it. There is some object in front of you and
gives you happiness to create it again.
So in that process, then you start learning that no, it is a flower or a leaf which I am making. When I will be able to make my own flower.
Oh, so then the form changes.
Yeah. Then it is your own.
Okay.
And
so when did that happen, Bhupesh?
it is so gradual.
How did your forms change, and if you could talk a little about your work in terms of some series which are special to your heart, and what were the themes or philosophies of those series?
The first phase, which when the starting phase, I said that then my floral patterns became more abstract, more mine.
Yes.
It was not exactly that.
Replication nahi tha.
Before also it was not 100% replication.
Okay.
It was just but taking your something. Then gradually you made a series of those, but at the last and you become so matured, means in that presentation of flower,
yes,
which becomes a form, an art form,
right?
Not a. Then same it became with human figures, that childhood emotions were, and then you become more aesthetically aware, seriousness, and the economy of the things, expression comes slowly. That okay, I don't need to make a nose or an eye or an ear or something like that. I can be more economical in expressing that. So it is all gradual, and then I got a nice opportunity that I travel abroad, was granted a fellowship by British Council.
Okay.
That was my first plane trip. That was my first that I was inside a plane and going to London and to Cardiff alone. There I was provided a nice studio with, and that was there also, that alone waiting for stones. Then I asked a fellow artist, she was also awarded, not from India but from other country. She was having so many stones.
Yeah.
So I requested the director there, meanwhile we wait for stone, can I? He said that you ask her.
Okay.
And she said, oh, anyone, and how?
Yours. Okay.
Then I was having 1 month there.
Okay.
I started, and there nobody is there. You are all alone.
Okay.
You have your kitchen and you do this. So absence of anybody and presence of nobody helped me. And then I started, and I took nearly 8 or 10 stones, and I worked, and I was ready for an exhibition. When she arrived back, she went for a tour and she arrived back, and then she was amazed. I'm not amazed, shocked. She never thought ki
in 1 month
I will take all this. And she was a bit angry, and I said, you allowed, I requested on behalf of the director of this institute, and in front of him you allowed, and he was always there, and you have to talk with him.
Yes.
That was myself, and I was so miss. I got this nice opportunity in which great masters have done work, Henry Moore or the Bath stone, which we were reading only.
Right.
Brancusi also did in those stones. So those stone, when you were reading that this great master, this material is this stone, and that name of that stone is there, then it itself was so encouraging and inspiring. So there the forms changed. It became organic, and then more experimentation, very minimalistic, organic forms, and sculpture in movement. So then I used some steel with stone, wood with stone. So 2 series were discovered there, and they were nice series which were representing my state of mind and my. So after returning back again, participations in many workshops, continuous working at my own studio, and so changed gradually, and I am never sticking with one particular
subject
only. Then in between I again go back to earlier series, in between again then the happenings all over the globe, all the newspapers which I was reading, or all the informations I was gaining or getting, they also gave me big inspirations to work, and my work started getting more socio-political statements from me as an artist, or became socio-political. That first exhibition of those particular work was held at British Council Art Gallery, Queen's Gallery in Delhi. Those works, because stone was my medium and it will remain, and it is very difficult to be narrative, so that audience can directly get what you are doing. Then I experimented that how can I am thinking so much about this, then how I am not standing in front. Sculpture के बारे में इतना conceptual बात करना भी अच्छी बात. It is not always good, because in Indian Ras Shastra, if we say you need not to describe your work because it is visual. And so let audience receive. Then I said I have to facilitate myself with something that the content also goes
to the audience. It's very important, otherwise the audience feels alienated.
Yes. So then I experimented, thought, may I write what things I am, मतलब जिससे मैं ये, then I reached till mixing serigraphy with stone.
Oh, interesting.
So that I was able to take any text from daily newspaper related, and which are bit filled with turmoil or turbulence or on human sensitivities, and I will make a collage, paste them on fresh another paper, take a I will take a screen and I will transfer that whole text on stone.
Okay. Okay.
And it gave a beautiful, means, yeah, experimentation was nice, it was very bold, means experiment, and luckily that the text which I intended that I will convey it to the audience, to the viewer, it was directly conveyed.
Absolutely.
And with dates.
Okay.
Yes, okay, in that era or that, and it visually and aesthetically it gave a beautiful textural impact on stone.
Okay. Okay. Right.
So,
And what were the political and social themes you were exploring more at that time? Were there something specific?
means
Anything?
because I am basic character of mine means it is more introvert and I can't
Express?
talk so much, and
But
I am
today you've
more-
told a lot about yourself.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, but
were they
more
related to your?
emotional,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Were they also related
ना,
to your own
ना,
emotions?
कुछ भी
no.
नहीं. अगर
No.
ग्लोब के उस पार्ट में भी कुछ इनह्यूमन होता तो आई फील कि व्हाई इट इज नाउ इन दिस एरा, इन दिस 21st century we are living in this whole developed stages, why a human being have to do this
Yeah.
again?
Okay. So violence must be one thing that must
Violence, that aggression, that wars, this means it. तो वो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ या तो शुरुआती जो भी दौर में जो भी लिटरेचर पढ़ते थे,
be. जी.
जो भी उपन्यास, novels, more poetic, and I don't know, there is, I can't define,
No, no.
but it is
Yes.
happens.
Right.
I feel sometimes we think that I will not read now newspaper. And I will be more aloof from the worldly things.
Right.
Sometimes my wife also says, why you, मतलब तुम इतना क्यों दुखी हो रहे हो? तो हो जाता है वो.
So, what is it that is you're working now on these days? Any new series or works or commissioned works? You continue to be a full-time sculptor now, you said.
Yeah, yeah.
So, is it difficult at times to be a full-time sculptor and not?
Yeah, in general, if we say it is very difficult, in general, not
Because still.
because of my personal case, but in general, if we see, being a stone sculptor, full-time stone sculptor, if you are not doing commission work,
आप ज़्यादा नहीं करते? You don't do much
I don't
commission
do.
work?
I
You
don't do because
Why is that?
I took sculpture not for that. Means livelihood was not primary focus for me at that time through sculptures.
Okay.
I am working on sculpture and I will get my livelihood from that. Then there will be some impurity maybe there.
Okay.
I don't say that my work is pure or that, but at least from that point of view, I am lucky enough that okay, I have maintained my livelihood from other source, not through sculptures, and it sells. Okay, I am. But in general, if we see other sculptors, other colleagues or students, it is difficult
Yes.
because medium itself is difficult, and the circumstantial problems related with stone sculpture, they are various and
Expensive
many.
भी है ना, Bhupesh? It's expensive. Not many
first-
galleries support it.
no, that is the because of this medium. First of all, it is heavy.
It's heavy. Yes.
First of all, it is heavy. If you overcome that heaviness of the material, no problem. You have to work on it. It produces sound and dust. Then you have to have your own studio.
Right.
You can work at your home unless and until your neighbors are so generous.
I agree with you.
Then you finish your work. You have to carry because it is fragile.
True.
You have to pack it very perfectly that in transit it doesn't break. Then again, galleries which we have only in metros in Delhi or
Yes,
Mumbai.
yes.
If it is in Mumbai, naturally galleries will be smaller in size.
Yes.
Maybe they may be on first floor,
Yeah.
private galleries.
Yeah.
So transporting sculptures again is a big hurdle, not a problem, but that is part of that medium.
Right.
You come back, work is there. Now the gallerist there is not so brave that he can handle that heaviness. If you do bit big, it is not possible.
Right.
So there are so many circumstantial problems with the medium.
Right.
Dust, noise, heaviness, you where the space, because there are very less spaces provided from the mother institutes for a student where he will, suppose he falls in love with stone like me, maybe he is not having that opportunity that he will have that space. So it is, and for sculpture, to exhibit a sculpture, you need space all around to view it.
Yes.
It is not like a canvas,
painting,
because you can hang it on a wall, you can stack it in a very less space. You have to go around three-dimensional work, and so these all the related things with sculpture, stone sculpture, are there.
So what keeps you going in spite of all these struggles and hurdles? What makes you keep doing sculptures and doing them full time now? What
Actually,
is it, that one thing?
If you fell in love, then you fell in love. It's
And then you never felt that I should also paint, or I should also, no, stone remained your...
that I can't. I feel envy of, yes, I feel that. I feel myself unlucky. Many times in workshops or symposiums, many artists, they are not able, they are naturally singing so well. And I love
music
to listen. I feel why I am not able to sing, but I love. So naturally I can't paint, or I have not tried, but I love painting.
Okay.
It's your personal temperament where you feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Please.
So what is your new work? Anything new that you're doing, something which is very close to your heart, which you're going to exhibit in the near future, or what is your dream of doing that one sculpture? Kuch aisa?
As such, it is still a process, a journey, gradually. Yeah, sometimes I dream that I can work on that scale of which Kailasha temple, or you see Ellora, and that scale and that skill. So maybe someday, if I am able to reach, means I am able to resource those material and this time and the tools or whatever, means an opportunity to work like that.
Okay. And what is new that you're working on? Some new theme or subject?
It is on a series of cocoon shelter.
In stone itself?
In stone itself.
Okay. And are you also mixing mediums, working with steel, wood? You are.
As required. So
cocoon in terms of protection, is that what you're going to?
Yeah, protection, and it's inner void spaces creating.
Inwards?
In long stones.
Okay.
So that it gives you a traversing feel.
Okay, interesting.
So children can go inside also.
Okay.
Sit also, relax.
Oh, it's that big scale?
Yeah, on a big size.
So that must be tough to do, or no?
No, nothing is tough. Actually, if you love and if you opt for soccer, then you can see how a single player have to move around that big ground many times, sweating, but he loves. He is excited. And same with cricket or tennis and...
So anybody that you really admire in India as far as the sculpting field goes? Somebody who's special to your heart?
There are many. Our seniors were viewing their works.
And a lot of experimentation is also happening, na, Bhupesh?
Happening.
So you feel that's a good place to be in, experimentation?
Yes, experimentation ought to be, because you can't be just...
So you also keep doing, keep changing. That keeps you going.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Bhupesh, our guest for the afternoon, and whose work we will see soon in Chandigarh. Thank you.